After unlocking all of the new Starpath items last week, I've been getting a few requests for Starpath speedrunning tips. So today, I'm going to be giving you 5 helpful tips and strategies to help you complete your Starpath quickly. Following that, I'll provide a few specific tips for some of the more demanding Starpath duties. Now, it's very important for me to mention that some of these tips may require preparation before the Starpath begins. If you are unable to plan ahead or prepare for the current Starpath, you can always use these tips for the next Starpath. Now, I know not everybody wants to rush through the Starpath. Some players like to take their time with it so they have something to focus on throughout the update. If that describes you, you can probably just skip this video. But if you're somebody that wants to unlock all of the new items, I'm hoping that after watching this video, that players with limited free time will be able to utilize these tips and successfully unlock all of the new items. Before we get started, I'd like to mention that I'm a small full-time content creator, so every like on these videos makes a big difference for me. Consider subscribing for more Disney Dreamlight Valley and gaming content. If you'd like to enjoy the update live with friends, consider joining our Twitch community. If you're looking for friends to enjoy the new multiplayer experience with, consider joining our Discord community. I'll have links for both in the video description down below. And with that, let's get started. Tip number 1. Reach as many time-locked Starpath duties as possible during your play session. When it comes to progressing through your Starpath quickly, this tip is probably the most important. So of course, I already know what you're thinking. Tip number 1 is not easy, especially if your goal is to play until all 6 of your Starpath duties are time-gated. So as a quick side note, I will add that this tip works best on a day where you have a fair amount of free time to pour into a longer play session. To elaborate on this tip a bit further, let's talk about what time-locked Starpath duties are. A time-locked or time-gated Starpath duty is any duty that cannot be completed in a single day. Currently, this consists of 2 different types of Starpath duties: duties requiring daily conversations and duties requiring giving favorite gifts. The conversation duties require you to have 2 separate daily conversations, and only 1 conversation will count each day. For the favorite gift duties, you will be required to give anywhere from 4 to 6 favorite gifts to a particular villager. Unfortunately, the max number of favorite gifts that will count in a single day for a particular villager is 3. Now, these aren't the only Starpath duties that require a little bit of wait time, as a majority of Starpath duties do actually have a time element that play into them, like serving meals at Remy's restaurant, hanging out with villagers for a specific amount of time, and collecting herbs such as mint and vanilla bean. Now, the reason we don't consider those to be time-locked or time-gated is because the ones I just listed there can indeed be completed in a single day. Now that you know which Starpath duties I'm referring to when I mention time-locked or time-gated Starpath duties, let's talk about why you want to reach as many as possible. When reaching these particular duties, you're going to be able to get half of the duty accomplished, allowing you to quickly remove the duty at the beginning of your next play session. Additionally, clearing as many of these as possible will always be ideal, as these duties in particular are notorious for holding up Starpath progression. If you can manage to reach a point in your Starpath progression where all 6 of your Starpath duties are time-gated, then you know you've reached the maximum progression you could possibly achieve on this given day. Or have you? Tip number 2. Do not clear your Dreamlight duties or missed duties until the Starpath makes you do so. So we're all aware of these Starpath duties that pop up and say complete royal duties or do some royal work. That's always referring to Dreamlight duties and missed duties, and boy does this one come up a lot. This is why I recommend that you do not clear your Dreamlight duties or missed duties until this duty becomes active. The way this particular Starpath assignment works is that it will not count a missed duty or Dreamlight duty as as complete until you claim the reward for that duty. So if you're grinding your star path and you've been completing a few Dreamlight duties and missed duties on the side, you can simply leave the reward pending until you see the complete royal duties assignment, at which point you can accept your rewards, and these will be immediately deducted from the Starpath royal duties. So if you're at the end of a very long play session and you've managed to reach 6 time-locked or time-gated Starpath duties, and you still want to grind the Starpath, you can do so by completing 6 Dreamlight duties and 6 missed duties, and leaving them uncollected until the next day. On your following play session, when you return to Dreamlight Valley, you'll be able to clear all 6 of those time-gated duties, and there will be a very high chance that the Royal Duties assignment will pop up. If and when it does, you've already got 12 complete duties in the chamber. So as soon as you see that Starpath duty, you can knock out about 90% of it. But completed duties are not the only thing you're going to want to stockpile. Tip number 3, save Night Thorns and Splinters of Fate for at least 1 to 2 weeks when you see Dreamlight Valley start teasing a new update. Now, in the November 1st showcase from 2023, the Disney Dreamlight Valley team told us that every update was going to have its own Starpath. And history has shown us that every single Starpath has a remove Night Thorns duty. And here lately, there have been 3 of these in each Starpath, and each one requires you to remove more Night Thorns than the last. And all 3 of these duties together require you to remove well over 100 Night Thorns. Now, I know Night Thorns are ugly and unsightful, and I know you want to get rid of them, but if you'd like to progress quickly and unlock some fun new items, it's best to make the sacrifice and not touch them as the update approaches. Removing your Night Thorns before an update will inevitably make each of these Night Thorn duties a multi-day long process. Thankfully, if you do have the Eternity Isle DLC, there is a bit of a workaround. As mentioned when this tip was listed, Splinters of Fate also count as Night Thorns for the Starpath. This essentially gives us double the Night Thorns to remove each day, so even if you did not save Night Thorns, make sure you're clearing both Night Thorns and Splinters. Lastly, this should go without saying, but utilize Ancient Vacuums if you have the DLC. I believe that even at level 1, the Ancient Vacuums will remove Splinters of Fate and Night Thorns. Now, of course, it would be better to have it at level 3 so you can get herbs and some other things, especially with some Starpath duties requiring you to pick 25 herbs. But at least for Night Thorns, even a level 1 Ancient Vacuum will do the trick. Grinding out Starpath duties can be incredibly time consuming, so I encourage you to take every advantage that you can get, and the Ancient Vacuums give you a huge time advantage. No more searching for herbs or searching for Night Thorns, wondering, did I miss any over in this biome? Did I get them all from over here? You're good. Just drop that Ancient Vacuum, interact with it, pick up what you need, and head to the next biome. Tip number 4, stockpile resources for favorite gifts and crafting. So going back to our time-locked or time-gated duties, we mentioned that one of the 2 duties you can see for this is give a villager their favorite gifts. Now, things like flowers and minerals like gemstones are going to be very common for favorite gift lineups, as almost any villager can request these. So making sure you have, maybe 10 of each mineral and 10 shiny variants of each mineral, you just want to be able to give all 3 favorite gifts whenever you have the opportunity. You're also going to want a full inventory so you can cook any meal. So make sure you have a few of each veggie, a few of each fish, and a few of each herb. And you may not know this about cooked meals as a favorite gift, but one thing I've always found very interesting is that only biological villagers will request cooked meals. So toys like Buzz and Woody and robots like Wally and Eve, they actually never ask for cooked meals. Wally might ask for some basil or oregano because he likes gardening, but he'll never ask for an actual meal. Neither will Buzz, neither will Woody, neither will Eve. And I always thought that was just a pretty fun and cool little part of the game. Let me know in the comments if you're learning this for the first time. So favorite gifts aside, you're also going to want to have some crafting resources. You never really know what kind of crafting project the Starpath is going to throw at us. Don't spend all of your iron right before an update. Just wait until you get through the Starpath. And then once you get the duties done, you can do what you want with your resources and just make sure you save up before the next update. And when it comes to saving up resources, one of the most important things to have is going to be potion ingredients. This includes onyx, red seaweed, vitalis crystals, and more. Which brings us to our fifth and final tip. Tip number 5. Have a potion strategy. When it comes to Starpath duties, there are so many duties that you can just absolutely blast through if you utilize potions. However, having certain potions active can also make completing certain Starpath duties nearly impossible. Allow me to explain. Let's say the Starpath is approaching and you're remembering that the last Starpath required you to catch 5 lobsters or 10 seafood. And you're thinking, well, I'm gonna be ready this time. So you throw on 10 fishing potions and they're stacked up and ready to go. Now you can just go fish those little gray spots in the glade and catch lobster every time, trivializing any duty that requires you to catch seafood or lobster. But then the Starpath arrives and it actually requires you to catch herring or carp. Fishing potion is really only going to help you when you're looking for a fish from a gold circle. Otherwise, it's best not to use it. And while I definitely recommend stacking up some fishing potions, or at least the ingredients to make them, I do not recommend pre-stacking fishing potions on your fishing rod, because it is going to take a very long time to make that buff go away. I can't help but remember on the first day of the update, I had a friend in chat that said, "Senpai, what should I do if I have 226 casts left on my fishing potion and I need to catch herring?" To which I simply replied, "Oof." So yeah, typically for me when I'm doing a Starpath, I only make the small fishing potions and I only put on 1 at a time. However, this is not the case when you have a mining potion active. With a mining potion active, every single swing of your pickaxe has a chance to drop a mineral from that biome. So if a Starpath duty asks you to mine 10 light blue gemstones, simply pop a couple of mining potions and repeatedly clear the Forest of Valor and Dazzle Beach. If the duty requires you to get tourmaline, chug a few mining potions and bounce between Frosted Heights and the Sunlit Plateau. And I'd also recommend going to your collections tab. If you know what mineral the Starpath is asking you to collect, it doesn't hurt to refresh yourself on where it can be found, especially with Eternity Isle also dropping some of the same minerals found in Dreamlight Valley. So if you're not 100% sure, knowing every possible outlet for these resources will help you power through these mining tasks quickly, hopefully allowing you to reach more time-gated tasks before the day comes to an end. Now that you know my 5 major tips for Starpath progression, let's discuss some specific duties from this Starpath and how to navigate them. We'll start with the duties I get asked about the most, which are fishing duties. A day at Disney has duties requiring players to catch herring, bass, salmon, carp, crabs, lobster, and anglerfish. Salmon, herring, and bass are all rather easy. Just check your collection tab for their native biome, travel to those biomes, and fish in the open water or the gray circles. With one exception. If you have the Eternity Isle expansion pass, I highly recommend getting your bass from the open water at the Oasis. In this location, you won't fish up seaweed, and instead you'll always have a 50-50 chance of either scales or bass. And the scales are very useful for crafting. Carp and crabs are a bit trickier. You can't use the fishing potion to get more of them, and they're not as common as the 3 previously listed fish. The best way to get carp quickly is to continuously clear all the fishing circles from the Forest of Valor and the Sunlit Plateau. Blue circles provide you with the best chance at receiving carp, but they can occasionally be found in gray circles. Clearing all the fishing spots continuously will allow new spots to spawn, granting you more opportunities for the blue circles. A similar approach may be taken for crabs, but unfortunately, crabs can only be caught in Frosted Heights. I recommend visiting Frosted Heights every 5 to 10 minutes, clearing all the fishing spots, and repeating this process until the duty is complete. Ironically, these last 2 fishing duties should be the easiest. catching anglerfish and catching lobster. And that's because, like we discussed, both of these fish can be caught using the fishing potion. Simply chug a fishing potion and head to the Glade of Trust for lobster, and visit the Forgotten Lands for anglerfish. Continue clearing all of the fishing spots and revisiting the biomes until the assignment is complete. With all of that in mind, there is one more very crucial tip I can provide when it comes to these fishing tasks. Always make sure you have the well-fed bonus. Whenever well-fed, your character is granted the luck ability. With the luck ability active, critical events can occur when fishing, mining, or foraging. Best of all, fish collected this way do indeed count towards the star path, which means with one sudden burst of luck, a task that should have taken an hour will take mere minutes. Now let's discuss the cooking duties. These duties have confused a few players as not all types of meals work. For the duty requiring either 4 or 5-star appetizers, just make sure you choose a recipe from the appetizer category. And for the duty requiring perfect or nearly perfect dinners, choose recipes from the entree category. The desserts are pretty self-explanatory. A day at Disney also has a total of 3 crafting duties. Get night shards to lighten up requires crafting purified night shards. Books to train your villagers requires crafting training manuals. And making something for your critters requires crafting the interactive companion items such as the Cozy Companion Home, Food Bowl, Pinwheel, Pixar Ball, or Bird Perch. Lastly, I want to touch on the various hanging out duties. Whenever one of these duties comes up asking you to hang out with a villager, I recommend starting it immediately, as it's one of the few duties you can progress in while simultaneously working on completing other duties such as mining or fishing. And that does it for our Star Path progression tips and tricks video. Now I know I didn't cover every single duty, so if anybody out there watching this has a question about a specific duty, feel free to let me know in the comments below and I'll do my best to help you out. If you found today's video helpful, informative, or simply entertaining, do me a very big favor and press that thumbs up for me, as it helps more people discover my channel. And don't forget to subscribe for more Disney Dreamlight Valley and gaming content. Most importantly, check the video description down below for a link to our Twitch channel and Discord server, and join our growing communities. As always, thank you so much for your time today, and good luck completing your Star Paths.